I love reading websites, learning off videos on YouTube, but when it came to reading books, it just didn't appeal to me. Until just a few months ago, I changed my mind on the whole thing. I've learned a hell of a lot. They were all non-fiction books, so all self-help, and I thought it'd be helpful if I could go through the things that I learned. Whenever you find people getting angry at you, they're disappointed in you, they disapprove of something that you're doing, I've always taken it personally, but now I've learned that it's actually a reflection of how they treat themselves. The problem isn't actually with you, it's what they've been through, the experiences that they've gone through, the conditioning they've been through. At some point in their past, they probably would have been looked down upon, disapproved for doing something, had parents that were disappointed in them. They must have buried that emotion deep inside, and that's how people can end up looking like they're angry at you. In fact, they're just expressing what they've been through themselves. So don't ever think that you've done something wrong. If they've had a difficult past, they're going to react accordingly. And it's pretty sad to know that that's how they treat themselves, using their internal dialogue. But that's something that people need to work on. When we're going through life and we're not enjoying what we're doing, maybe it's a job that you're not really into, maybe it's you feel like you're obligated to do certain things and you feel lost in life. And from what I've learned from the self-help books, it's because we're not living our true purpose. We're not doing the things that really fill us up with joy. And we're doing it out of obligation. We're doing it out of necessity to pay the bills. We're attending events because we don't want people to judge us and we want people to like us. But from what I've learned is it's so important to actually start doing the things that you enjoy, because only then will you start feeling more content, fulfilled and happy, and then that energy will resonate onto others. And it doesn't really matter what other people think, because if you're enjoying yourself and you're doing something that you love to do, then isn't that what life's about? We're here to experience it. We might as well make the most of it. Another very important point that I've learned from all these books is the internal dialogue that goes on in your mind, the things that you tell yourself. When you haven't done something well, you criticize yourself, you put yourself down. When you disappoint someone, you tell yourself off. When you don't get the job, you tell yourself how stupid you are or you're not good enough. I've had a real problem with this for many years, but I've changed things around ever since I started reading these self-help books, and it's made me realize that we need to learn to be kind to ourselves, because the more we criticize ourselves, the more we're going to criticize other people, and the more we're just going to be unhappy in life. So I find it's really important just to switch it up, doing things we love, uplifting your energy and saying kind words to yourself, supporting yourself like a best friend would. Because if the same thing happened to a best friend or even a sibling, you wouldn't put them down. You'd make them feel loved. You'll make them feel that they are good enough, that maybe this time isn't right for them, this job isn't suited for them, and something better will come along. I've been practicing this to make sure that I'm always saying good things to myself. I'm always supporting myself and being my own best friend. And it's really changed how I feel generally. I guess I just feel more content and more happy. I'm just enjoying life a little bit more than I ever used to. So I highly recommend giving that a go. I've also noticed whenever I'm watching the news or catching up with someone I haven't seen in a while, there seems to be a lot of negativity, whether it's the issues that they're facing, the bad experiences they've been through, the things going on in the world, the saddening news, the fearful information, the things that can put fear in you and just make you feel like you're draining your energy. It's not a nice feeling to have. I think I've just learned to be mindful of how much I consume and what I consume. I find that it's been a good practice by only reading about stories that uplift me, only meeting the people that will put joy into my life, that will make me happy or make me laugh. I know we can't do this in all circumstances. I think it's just important to not focus on the negativity and switch it to a positive story or a positive moment and see how the conversation progresses. And I've really found that it makes a huge difference. It actually makes the whole experience of meeting the person a lot more enjoyable. And also when it comes to relationships, it's so important to create memories with the people that you love, with the people that you like, whether it's family or friends, to create a community, have some sort of connection, play sports or hobbies, or do some sort of activity together, whether it's something as simple as a walk or a jog. It really makes you feel less alone. It makes you realize how we're all going through the same thing in life, but we don't realize it because people don't tend to open up unless you are warm and welcoming and you open up and you trust the other person. We're only seeing the good parts from people's lives on social media and whenever we do catch up, but there's a lot beneath the surface that we don't understand. We don't even know how they treat themselves. I find it's really important when connecting with as many people, it actually inspires you to try something new. Maybe it's a different hobby or an event or a place to go, a different restaurant that you haven't been to, and you would have only got that idea if you met up with that individual who told you about it. That's what makes life a bit more enjoyable. You've got a bit more variety and you're exposed to new things. I really believe in making an effort to meet your friends and even call your loved ones. And if you really appreciate someone, why not just tell the person? Give them a call and just tell them. Tell your best friend that you've always appreciated their support. Tell your parents that you love them. There's nothing to be afraid of. They're not going to push you away. You're only going to make them feel good. And the more good we put out there, the more good we'll get in return. So when it comes to reading books, you really have to find books that resonate with you. For some reason, I'm just not good with fiction books and I prefer non-fiction. I just like real life scenarios and stories and what people have gone through. I think at some point I will start enjoying fiction books, but for now I'm sticking to non-fiction. It can really inspire and teach you more than you'd ever imagine from watching a YouTube video, from browsing the net. It kind of creates this personal connection with the author of the book, and you get to learn more about who they are and where they're coming from and the things they've been through and how they've changed as a person. And it inspires something within you to do exactly the same thing. If there's an area in your life that you're not too happy with or something about yourself that you don't like, these books can really inspire you to make a change or give you the tools and the steps to take to create a big shift in your life. And that's where I found these books so helpful. Ever since I read the first one, it's been helping me personally. I've just been hooked to reading more and more self-help books. I just thought I'd make this video to see if anything that I've learned could be helpful for someone else out there. I really hope you did enjoy this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.